I get asked a lot about precise focusing, and there are many factors that can give a much better strike rate with perfectly clear pictures. But in this tutorial, I'm going to focus on one point that will increase your success rate with tack sharp images. First up, I mostly use and recommend single point focusing for still photography. This means selecting one single point of focus in the viewfinder and moving that to a place where you want the image to be focused with a decent composition. The all over focusing points tend to just lock in the closest thing, and that may not be what you want to focus on. For instance, the tip of a nose in a portrait may be chosen as a focus point, but you would rather have the eye in sharp focus. The best way of doing this is to select single point focus and compose that single focusing point over the eye. If the subject is really unpredictable and you are further away, then consider switching to zone autofocus. This one will use a bunch of focusing points around each other and increase your chances of nailing that perfect picture. Now that is actually not what I want to talk about in this video today. I want to show you situations where you can help the effectiveness of the autofocus in your camera to get a better result and more consistent results. First up, you have to understand a little bit about how a camera and its lens gets the focus in the first place. Most cameras these days use a combination of phase detection and contrast detection, and some use a combination of the two. Phase detection is a smarter form of autofocus and has an incredible computer built inside your camera to determine a well-focused distance to your subject. I'm not going to get into exactly how this works in this video because it will get very techy and boring, and I know you just want to get the tip and get back out there shooting. So just so you know, it does a great job most of the time. The contrast detection needs some sort of contrast to be effective, and that is what I'm going to talk about today. Together, these two do a great job, and I feel the phase detection uses contrast to get the focus happening quicker. A good way to understand this even better is to point your camera into a blue sky with nothing else. So no clouds, nothing in the foreground, and see how well the camera focuses. You'll probably find it doesn't really go so well, and that is because it has zero contrast in the scene to lock onto. So take for example this silhouette picture. If I put my single point focus in the middle of the surface body, the camera may hunt around to find focus, and it may not even find it, and it will continually go in and out hunting for focus, in which time the subject gets uneasy or you miss the moment. If you instead place that single point of focus on the edge of the subject's shoulder or somewhere on the edge of his face, then the camera has some contrast with the brighter sky to lock in the precise distance to the subject. That will result in a well-focused image, and it'll do it much quicker. The camera can get focus much quicker and more accurately this way, and you'll nail the moment without having your autofocus system hold you up at all. I use this for nearly all of my day-to-day photography. I particularly use it when shooting into the sun through my water housing. You need ultra quick focusing in the surf action situations, and just using this tiny little trick has led me to getting more focus shots than if I didn't consider using contrast to assist my autofocus. I started employing this contrast method to get focus many years ago, and now it just happens subconsciously. This trick was really crucial 10 or 20 years ago when the autofocus systems weren't quite as strong. But before this video, I did some extensive testing with my 3 Canon cameras, and it does make a difference in the focusing speed for sure. If you don't already do this or consider this when taking pictures, I suggest you give it a go and see if it helps with your speed of focusing. There's no doubt it has with my photography, and I'm going to keep using it. So just a tiny tip today, but those little things that you can introduce into your workflow will make a big difference in your ability to consistently get great results. And that's what I want you to get, great results every time, not just one-offs. If you want to learn more about focusing and everything else photography, especially in the surf, adventure and travel themes, then please use one of the links below to subscribe and never miss a tutorial. I also have a free mini course on water photography and surf photography that you can enroll in right now. or you can simply subscribe to this new YouTube channel and keep in touch that way. Cheers.